What's up, mamas? I'm Rebecca. You're watching the Reseller Mom Show. Thank you for joining me today for another What Sold Fast video for Poshmark, eBay, and Mercari for the week of September 15th through September 21st. So this week is odd in that nothing really remarkable happened, yet something really remarkable happened, and it's just weird. It's just like a lot of normal sales. I think I only had 2 that are over $30. It was just kind of plugging away, seeming like a steady week. There's a lot of things that I was just happy to get rid of. But then as I started pulling all the information together, I noticed that, how many do I have? 19 items that sold in less than 2 weeks, which is pretty good. But 18 of them sold in 3 days or less. Like, that's weird. So a lot of fast sellers this week. Nothing too special though, but a lot of fast sellers. So maybe you can take something away from these particular sales. Maybe not. Maybe they were just flukes, but I'm going to share them all as I do on Sunday anyway. So let's get started with our first sale. So again, we're doing all the sales that sold in 2 weeks or less. I sell on eBay, Poshmark, and Mercari. On eBay, I charge for shipping. On Poshmark, they charge for shipping. And on Mercari, I do free shipping. So let's get into it. This is an eBay sale. This is a new with tags, a Lulus snake print jumpsuit. I got this from a local closet clear out that I did. I was so excited about it because all I keep hearing is how python print and snakeskin print is in. And I had a lot of interest on it on Poshmark, Mercari, and eBay, and here is where it sold on eBay. I got an offer for $17. Maybe could have sold it for more, maybe not. It is new with tags, but I just wanted to keep the sales rolling this week, as I always do. Maybe at some point I will get more picky and stingy about things, but these days I'm all about moving through things quickly. So I sold it for an offer of $17 plus shipping on eBay in 11 days of being listed. And then literally everything else that I'm telling you from this point forward, as far as the fast selling listing, sold in 3 days or less. Crazy town. So ugly Christmas sweaters is something that I like to sell. I have a bunch already up, and then there's a few stragglers that have been coming in. This is a 3D Santa mixed media ugly Christmas sweater, but it's like a dress, like a tunic dress. And I have all of my ugly Christmas sweaters up for $19. I've been selling them anywhere from $10 to $15. And I'm just going to kind of keep it in that range. Put it up for $19, no matter the brand, no matter whatever. See what happens. You just never know. And then take offers if they seem doable. I don't think I would really take any offer less than $10, except for maybe if it's the very end of the season. But I'm still making an okay amount on this. And with Poshmark, it's one of those things where I'm not paying for the shipping or anything. And I do want people to have a good deal and come and find me again, perhaps. And so 10 is the lowest that I would take on an ugly Christmas sweater. So this sold for an offer of $10. And that sold in 3 days. Next up is another one. This is a Reindeer Pug ugly Christmas sweater. It's a size 4X, and so I did take an offer on this for $13. You just never know. I find that with ugly Christmas sweaters, the larger sizes do sell a little bit better, as with many things. But this is a larger size, and so I wasn't sure if I would find another person on it, so I went ahead and took the 13. That sold also in 3 days of being listed on Poshmark. Next up and all of my ugly Christmas sweaters come from the bins. I haven't gotten them any other way. I don't pay, Goodwill retail for them. I haven't seen them in any local closet clearouts or anything like that. So it's all just from the bins. This is one of these brand new bra adhesive bras, and I got a bunch of these in a liquidation purchase lot, and so I'm just trying to get rid of them. I took an offer for $7. That's fine with me. As long as I'm getting something back for it, I think that's great. And that sold also in 3 days on eBay. So that was $7 plus shipping. So this one was interesting because I saw, I don't know, somewhere that it was rare. I don't know, but this is just a Zara embroidered baby doll top. I thought it was really beautiful. Obviously, I picked it up. I took an offer on Mercari. I had it up for $19. I took an offer for $16. That does include shipping. That sold in 2 days. So I'm not sure, but that was a really fast seller, which I feel like Zara for me isn't always a quick sell, but it's always a consistent sell. And not necessarily for tons of money either, but, you know, just a good consistent seller. Next up is Mizuno softball pants. Mizuno is a great brand for like a lot of active things, a lot of biker things, cyclist things. And so when I see Mizuno, I do know that that's a good quality brand. I've sold it mostly for cycling items a bunch of times. These happen to be softball pants, or maybe they're not, and we just called them softball pants. Again, I have helpers, so I don't know. But I had them up for $24. They sold on an offer for $20 on Mercari. That's including shipping, and that sold in 2 days, so that was good. This is just a shawl, Sea Apparel color block shawl. I had it up for $19. It was an offer for $15, and it actually sold in 1 day, but the payment didn't go through, and then the person came back and then paid, or offered again, and then the payment went through, and so it sold in 2 days, but really it went up the same day. But so I thought that was a good seller. I didn't know that there was anything particularly special about this, but that was a good one. Nickens Wonder Stretch Slim Pants. These did come in a liquidation order. I had them up for $19 on Mercari. Someone gave me an offer for $15 on Mercari with free shipping, and those sold in 1 day, and I was cool with that. Next up is Studio Premium Ponte Stretch Skinny Pants from Torrid, and hold on, yes, and these sold for $19 on Poshmark, which, you know, Torrid is always a great seller, and that sold in 1 day on Poshmark, so that was just full outright. Next up, I had a lot of interest on this, both on Poshmark and on Mercari, and ASOS, and I don't know why. So it's a shawl. They put it as a poncho, and I thought I fixed it in 1 or 2 places. I'm not sure where I fixed it, but I guess I didn't fix it here. But it's not a poncho with the head hole. It's a shawl, but hopefully that doesn't come back to bite me. But it's ASOS, and it sold for an offer of $13. And that sold in 1 day on Poshmark. Next up is a Nike Classic mock neck golf. I don't know what words they put in there. Just a sport athletic shirt, long sleeve, and that sold for $10. It was an offer. Some of the Nike things will go for more than others. I've not put a lot of time and effort into looking into what specific Nike things do better than others. I don't pick up all Nike, but this one I did because it was the dry fit, and it was long sleeve with the mock neck, and so there's just a little more something to it. If it was like short sleeve, just your normal super dry or dry fit or whatever they call it, like, I probably won't be picking up those kinds of things. But when it's men's and when it's extra large and there's a little more something to it, then I do pick it up. So anyway, I could have maybe sold it for more, maybe not, but $10 offer was fine with me, and that sold in 1 day on eBay, so that was plus shipping. This sold like within minutes of being listed. I didn't know there was anything too special about this, but maybe it was just luck of the draw of when it was listed. This came in airport lost luggage, my last round. So it's an Under Armour winter suite, full zip hiking hoodie from Under Armour. I had it up for $29, literally within minutes of going live on Poshmark from a draft. They gave me an offer of $20, and I said, fine with me. So $20 from that, sold in 1 day. And, you know, this is one of those things where that airport lost luggage haul, even though not everything was sellable, all of the pieces that were sellable worked out to a certain price point. I can't remember what that is off the top of my head, but everything together only came to 59 cents per item. So, you know, even though only certain things were sellable, you can waste a few and still the COG price, the per item price, was still good because there were so many that were good, and a few of them have already been selling. Again, they were mostly outerwear, and so we're in the season for that. If I got this lost luggage, or if I continue to do this lost luggage at the beginning of the summer, maybe I'm not going to have such a high sell-through rate that quickly because it's still probably going to be outerwear. But whatever. I mean, when you think about it, what do people lose? They leave their jacket on the plane, they leave their jacket at the restaurant, they leave their jacket in the bathroom, they just leave their jackets everywhere. So it makes sense. But getting so many of them in one shot and having such a low price point for it, for the fact that they are jackets, means the return's going to be really good because people are willing to pay more for a jacket anyway. So anyway, that's that. This is a new with tags, Souma. This is just the top only. And so that's kind of one of those things where Souma is a great seller. I love picking up Souma. It usually sells quickly. It usually sells for a decent amount, but because it was only the top, I wasn't quite sure. And so this was like a $60 value or something top. But because it was only the top, I didn't know what I would end up getting for it or if people would really care. But it did sell quickly. It sold in one day on eBay for an offer of $12.50. So I took it. Again, it's plus shipping. So that was fine with me. Next up is a Gibson Cozy Twist front pullover. And this, I think I had it up for $19 and they gave me an offer for $15. And that sold quickly in one day. Yeah, all these I think are one day or less now. So we're at one day for this. And I have a lot of Gibson. These came in not the last round of liquidation, but the round before that, a lot of Gibson, and they weren't getting a lot of traction. So I'm surprised that this particular one sold so quickly, but it is really pretty. And actually, is it a large? No, it's an extra large. I was like, oh, if it doesn't sell, maybe I will commandeer it, but I didn't know if it would be too big for me. So I didn't even try it on. Some things that I'm not sure of, or I would rather sell it, I don't even try it on because then I get really torn. So I'm like, oh, just pretend it doesn't fit. But that's sold on Poshmark. Next up is a Philadelphia Eagles cheer dress costume. And so here's my thing. I'm from New Jersey, but I'm from North Jersey, and that makes me a Giants fan. And anytime I see things for the Eagles, I get so upset because, of course, I'm a capitalist and I want to sell it to you crazy Eagles fans, but I hate even having it in my midst. I really do. I hate the Eagles. I'm so sorry if I'm alienating anybody in my audience, but I'm just bleh. So I really, didn't want to pick this up, but one, kids, football, NFL stuff goes over well, and these cheerleader dresses go over really well. And so I've sold a number of them from college to NFL. I don't think I've had any basketball or anything. Maybe, is there a hockey? I feel like I might have had a hockey one. Anyway, but anything that's girls, that's cute like this, that's a good high quality, that would be expensive, I don't know how much this particular one would retail for, goes well. So all of those signs were pointing to, yes, pick this up. Got it at the bins. Hello. Can't turn it down. Anyway, sold for full asking price of $19. Bada bing, bada boom. And that sold in, where's my line? One day. One day on Poshmark. Love these things. Next up is 10-inch high-rise skinny crop jeans. This is actually, we're having an issue with this. Just a quality control thing. So this went up. It didn't have the size tag. And so they were asking me the size. I had to go back to the storage unit, find out the size. This is why sometimes having a storage unit's a pain in the neck. But she had made an offer. I accepted the offer. Then she asked me about the size. So at that time, I didn't even realize that the size wasn't there. I don't even know how Normandy or my virtual assistant listed this, like, without the size. I don't even know what happened. But anyway, I got an offer, took the sale, then she asked about the size, and I said, I got to check the size. So I went back to check the size. In the meantime, I got another offer on Poshmark for it, and I had to tell her, listen, I've got this pending Mercari sale. I've got to check the size. It's like a whole thing. Anyway, size worked out. Sale went through from Mercari, shipped it off, $25. She got them, and then she's like, there's another stain or whatever, so now we're waiting to see what that is. I didn't see it or I didn't notice it. This is why I really don't like picking up white things, and I really should just not ever look at white things and just forget it, because you just never know, and it gets missed sometimes, and then it's a whole thing. Anyway, they sold in less than a day. They sold same day of being listed. Right now they are sold. They haven't been returned, so we'll see what happens. Hopefully that whole thing doesn't go south. This came in a liquidation box as well. The Paige Katerina Juliet sleeve turtleneck top. I think I had it up for $29, took an offer of $20. It's a size extra small, so you just never know. And I sold it in less than a day, 0 days listed. This I posted on Instagram, Aviva. This is the children's line of Lululemon Athletica, and I was so excited because it was the first time I'd ever seen it. I felt it. I knew that it was a Lululemon related type thing, or I thought it's going to be like Kirkland or one of those brands that gets me every time, where I think it's Lululemon, but it's not. Kirkland, for whatever reason, gets me every time. Anyway, but then I looked and like, this is kind of small. And I was like, Aviva, yay. So it was the first time I found it. Was so excited. Stupid thing sold in less than a day. So I had it up for 25. They gave me an offer for 19. Fine, goodbye. I don't want to sit on it. Just happy to get it going. I thought that was a respectable offer. Next up is a sale on eBay. Vineyard Vines men's striped polo shirt, size extra large. Really nice powder blue color. Probably, I'm assuming, got that at the bins. I can't remember for sure. Was it a local? No, I think it was at the bins. And I took an offer for $17. I've had some things sit with Vineyard Vines. I didn't think that this would be one of them. It sold the same day. Again, I'm really a sucker for same day, sales, even if it's an offer that's lower than I would like for it. And sometimes I'm not even scared that I won't get another offer like I do with some items. But sometimes I just like having same day sales. It makes me feel good. Get it in, get it out. Let's move on. Like, give me my money, and everybody has a happy day. So same day sales, I love them. Also, I don't know, like with eBay, does that help? I don't know. Maybe that's just wishful thinking that it helps me in the algorithm, because these days, as I've posted on Instagram, my eBay is in the crapper. Anyway, diesel jacket. I think this came in an airport luggage or a local closet clear out. I actually don't remember, but it's a diesel jacket, sweatshirt hoodie thing. And it just $10.60. I'm pretty sure that was an offer, and I took it. This is one of those where like I kept it, but I was like, should I? I didn't know if it would do okay or not. And it was in excellent shape, but it wasn't in like new shape. And so I was like, Anyway, $10.60 on that, sold the same day. So clearly now I feel like diesel would be something good to pick up. I don't know if I've really left it behind. Nothing really rings a bell, but we'll go over the overall numbers, and then I have 2 sales that sold for over $30 that I think you'll be interested in. So starting over here, we had 20 items that sold in less than 2 weeks, which I think is fantastic. We have 12 items that sold in addition in less than a month of being listed, 8 items in addition that sold in less than 2 months of being listed, 7 items that sold in less than 2 to 6 months of being listed, and then 12 months of items being over 6 months plus. So I like the breakdown. This feels really good. The most items being sold in 2 weeks or less, that's fantastic. I mean, if you add everything up, the fact that all of these are way more than this number here, showing that most of my items for the week are selling in 6 months or less, that's great. You can even do the math here and say that most of my items are selling in 2 months or less. And then you can even go over here, let's see, that would be 32. Yep, same thing. Most of my items are being sold in a month or less. Now, again, that's not of all of my items, that's of the items that sold this week, but I still think that that is a fantastic trend, that I'm picking better things, they're going up in a good way, they're being keyworded correctly. Now, granted, there's all kinds of nonsense and mistakes that happen, especially when you're not doing it all yourself. Even when you do it yourself, you still make mistakes. But because I have a process where some of my items, I really don't deal with them that much, there's going to be errors. I had someone message me on Poshmark that's like, this is a women's jacket. It says it on the tag. So I don't know why it's in there as a men's jacket. Either my photographer coded it down on the form that it was a men's jacket, even though the tag said women's jacket, or my virtual assistant coded it as a men's jacket, even though it said women's jacket. I don't know where the thing went wrong, but it's not worth my time to figure it out. We fixed it. Thanks so much for telling me. Let's move on. If that jacket hadn't sold in a period of time, it would have been up for review anyway. Now, I will say, and I say up for review, meaning I have triggers for myself to say this is when you need to be reviewing items to see if there's a reason why it's not selling. I'm not always as good with that as I could be. I need to be better about that because I think that would help even more. That's why I made that system, but sometimes those time commitments are hard to keep. Anyway, I'm rambling. If you want to know more about that system, I did a video called my inventory management system, which is not about actually the inventory and the numbers and bins and stuff, but actually how I'm managing my inventory and making sure that I have sell-through. And that's a really good video, in my opinion, on how I'm kind of operating things and strategically looking at things in the life cycle of an item. Blech. So, Poshmark, I sold 32 items this week for $564 in sales. eBay, I sold 17 items for $445 in sales. That's a great ASP, but ugh. And then Mercari, I sold 8 items for $150 in sales, which again, Mercari's just been very consistent, 1, maybe 2 items a day, 1.5 items a day, 1 item a day, kind of thing. And $100 to $200 in sales, I'm cool with it. I did the math on it. It's still worth paying a cross-posting fee and doing free shipping on Mercari. It's not growing exponentially, but it's going okay. I've got some other ideas and plans to maybe help boost my Mercari sales in the future, but I've got to work on it. So my totals, 57 items sold in total, $1,159 in sales, gross ASP of $20.33. Doing really good, really happy with that. So like I said, it's just kind of like a run-of-the-mill week, just a really lot of fast sellers. A lot of fast sellers this week, but nothing that I thought was like anything too special. Let's talk about the 2 items over $30 and we'll get you out of here. So one of them was a Citizens of Humanity women's Fleetwood high-rise flare jeans, 5-pocket, size 27. Sold for full price on sale of $31.20. So I'm assuming I had them up for $39, 20% off sale, down to $31.20 plus shipping. Great sale. Didn't sell in 2 weeks or less, but sold for a decent amount of money, over $30. Citizens of Humanity has been hard for me, although I feel like I just wasn't picking up the most in-demand styles of it. I just always thought it was a great brand. Maybe it's on its way out, maybe not. I don't know, but I think I was just probably picking up like more low rise and things that just weren't as in style. And then here is the great sale of the week. Wild Fox, this raglan sweatshirt. I remember when I found it at the bins, I posted about it because I was so excited to finally find a Wild Fox. And then I was like, it's just a crappy sweatshirt. There's nothing special about this sweatshirt. I have no idea why they cost so much. I have no idea why they resell for so much. It's just a crappy, cheap sweatshirt. Like, I didn't think there was anything special about it in the least. It's cute. It's got a heart on it. Big deal. Like, I don't know. I will take your $55 plus shipping, though. Thank you so much, lady that bought this. So that sold. Again, it didn't sell in less than 2 weeks, and I was kind of like, oh, the Wild Fox, it's still sitting here. What the heck? But I am finding, and this is kind of like maybe my nugget for the week, is that I can't just be a high-end seller, and I can't just be a volume seller. I need to be somebody that's in between, because I want them both. I want those high-value sales where you're like, this is why I love it, those home run things, but they don't happen all the time. They don't happen all the time because those aren't the only things I sell on my store, and they don't happen because those aren't the only things that I find. I don't think I find enough of them to run my store completely on home runs. That being said, I like to be busy. I like lots of sales. I like hearing the ka-chings. I like getting the offers. I need the energy of it. And so that's why I do like having the lower price point items, because those are the things that will sell quickly. Those are the things that will sell more often and kind of keep the churn. So for me, I'm just finding more and more as I do this, I need them both. I find them both. I need them both. Maybe I will change over time, but for me, having a mix of low value and home run works for me. It may not be the best business decision in that in order to do volume, I need help, because I don't have the time at this mommy stage of my life to do a lot of volume all by myself without having helpers. But for my mental state and how I feel about my business and what keeps me from making like rash decisions is being busy all the time. As far as the store goes and having sales. And so for right now, for me, as I'm starting to think of my 2020 goals, model, plans, tactics, whatever, I'm still formulating them, but I'm thinking on them. I really feel like having a mix of both in my store is good because they just kind of go hand in hand. So I'll have more on that in the future when I do talk about my 2020 goals and business model and whatever. But for right now, I did want to make the point because this Wild Fox came up, and like I said, it wasn't a quick seller, but it sold for a great profit. I found it at the bins. I mean, I'm lucky if that thing costs $1.39 because it's probably under a pound. So, does it say? 10 ounces. So there you go. Unbelievable. Well, everyone, thank you so much for joining me today. Please go ahead and give me a thumbs up on this video. Like it on the way out. It really does help me out. I do appreciate it. Thanks for joining me, and hopefully you'll subscribe if you haven't already, and join me for more videos, for more reseller mom content to get more done, make more money, and stay sane while raising kids and reselling online. See you in the next one. Bye!